What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets and their hot start to the season. They're currently 3-0 on the year. It's very, very early in the season. Don't read into it too much, but 3-0, much better than I thought it was going to be. They started the year off with a big 6-0 win against the Oilers. They played a little bit of a clunky game against the Blackhawks, won that game 2-1 in overtime thanks to Mark Scheifele late in the third and in overtime. And then in Minnesota, thanks to a Zach Bogosian penalty, the Jets go into overtime with a power play, and Kyle Connor scores the game winner. So 3-0 start. The Jets are great, but what if I told you they could be even better? So far this season, Mark Scheifele has 4 goals, and he's looked really good offensively, but not so much 5-on-5. All 4 of his goals have come at an odd man advantage for them. 2 6-on-5 goals for him, 1 5-on-4 goal to win it in Chicago, and 1 on the power play. So, this is great and everything, but overall, his line really hasn't been playing that great 5-on-5, and it's actually been the bottom 6 really carrying. The second line hasn't done a ton either, with Ehlers, Nemesnikov, and Perfetti. Earlier on in the season, it seems like those guys are just having trouble finding chemistry together. Ehlers and Perfetti have a history of not really having the greatest chemistry together, so it's not really too shocking. I talked about that a little bit before the beginning of the season, something I worried about with the top 6, and if you could switch Ehlers and Connor, I do wonder if that would provide a spark. And the reason I say that is because Perfetti and Connor have had chemistry in the past. It's a known thing. Perfetti has elite playmaking ability. Kyle Connor is almost exclusively a shooter, doesn't do a whole lot more than that, but he does know how to find the open areas of the ice, and he does know how to score. So those two together, with Vlad Nemesnikov just being a very responsible playmaking forward, that I think could be a really good second line. And then back to the first line. Connor and Scheifele have a history of not playing great 5-on-5 together. They're great when they have space. In overtime, I want those guys together all day long. That's, unnegotiable. They've looked really good in overtime so far this season, but I do think 5-on-5, there could be a change, should be a change. I know it's very early, I'm not saying right now, but if it does persist, I would love to see Ehlers, Scheifele, and Velarde back together, where they had a ton of success last season, were one of the best lines in hockey for a period of time there as well. So we'll see what happens, but just imagine this team, if they could get Nick Ehlers going, if they could get, Kyle Connor going 5-on-5, and if they could, even open another door for Mark Scheifele here, not so much just with the man advantage, but 5-on-5 just being as dominant as he has been, up a man this year. Imagine what he could be doing at even strength, right? So Mark Scheifele having a very good year. I'm impressed with it, but I do think that to unlock his full, arsenal, I do think that Nick Ehlers might have to be on that line. I talked about it a little bit before. I talked about the top 6, but the bottom 6 this year, really, really impressive. And some of the guys that are doing it is Rasmus Kupari, Alex Iafallo, and Morgan Barron. The fourth line I was a little bit worried about, not so much, that they wouldn't be okay, but I thought they might just be a pretty boring line and just kind of skate around. Rasmus Kupari was a guy I wasn't really impressed with last season, got him in the Pierre-Luc Dubois deal, and to be honest, I thought he might be a guy that just gets waived this coming season, but showed up in the preseason a little bit, had some flashes, and so far this year he's looked really, really good. Already has a goal this season, first as a Jet, didn't have one last year. And, he got the nickname Calorie Kupari last year. It was kind of funny, kind of mean. But, this year, definitely ripping that label right off of him. He looks really good. A really effective forward, driving play, getting in there, and just really hasn't had a bad shift. That whole line really just has not had a bad shift. Iafallo looks pretty decent this year, Barron as well. Everybody's contributing, and, back to the Adam Lowry line for a second. They played fantastic in the first game of the year. Mason Appleton had a goal and 2 assists, so, of course he did. But he's been really good through 3 games, just noticeably improved team play in that bottom 6. Of course, the Lowry line was a big driver last year, but, early on here, really impressed with everybody. Niederreiter, Lowry, Appleton, that line seems to be going again. I guess it's more so the Jets' second line with the amount of ice time they've been getting so far through this season, but really good. I don't know. I really can't complain, man. People talking about Adam Lowry being possibly on Team Canada's roster next year, and, hey, I don't see why not. The guy's been balling out. And over to the defense for a second, I have been a little bit worried heading on into this season, not so much with Josh Morrissey and Dylan DeMello, who have been fantastic by the way, but with the bottom four on defense, because Dylan Sandberg is stepping into a role that he's never really had to step into before, and that's being a top four NHL defenseman paired with Neil Pionk, who is, a bit chaotic at times. And while Pionk is chaotic, Sandberg has been able to really calm the seas here. He's looked really good through the first 3 games of the year. And I know it's very early on, and I'm not making any assumptions on how this is going to go so far, but he's looked way more comfortable than I had thought, because Sandberg looked really comfortable to an extent all throughout his NHL career, but I feel like when the going gets tough for him sometimes he does panic. Sometimes he does make the odd turnover that, makes you hit yourself on the head a little bit, but so far he's looked really calm, really steady, and with a partner like Neil Pionk, that's exactly what Pionk needs, and in turn, I think Pionk's played a lot better too so far this year. If we go to the bottom pairing for a second here, very impressed by Hayden Fleury. I was really worried when Ville Heinola went down, thought that was going to mean Logan Stanley was going to have to check in, but of course Stanley went down as well, both on the shelf for, at least another month it seems, and now Hayden Fleury steps in, and I was kind of worried, really didn't know how that one was going to go, but Fleury has been a guy. Really good player, has come up with some big blocks, just really steady playing on, the bottom pairing with Colin Miller. Those guys have played really well together, haven't been running around too much, and just really steady. Something I didn't expect to see. I really expected, some chaos here on the Jets back end, but only allowing 2 goals through 3 games. I mean, you can't really complain about that. And then the man in the crease, Connor Hellebuyck, Connor Vesnabuck, he's been looking incredible this year, as we kind of expected. The guy is 3-0, 2 goals against this year in 3 games. The guy's balling out. He's going to be honored Friday against the Sharks, so shout out to him, for the Vezina and the William M. Jennings Trophy. Connor Hellebuyck is a special guy. He's come up with some big saves this year, but overall, just how can you not be calling him the best goaltender in the world right now? I don't get the Hellebuyck hate. I don't understand it. The guy is amazing, and he's a big reason why the Jets are 3-0 to start the year, and I think he's going to be a big reason why the Jets are, once again a playoff team. We'll see how good they are, if they can keep this up heading into, the future here and the many months still to come. But I am very impressed with Hellebuyck and the team defense as a whole. I've talked about the special teams already. Shorthanded, this is way better. The power kill, if you want to call it that, just playing guys that wouldn't necessarily be on the penalty kill, providing some chances, way more aggressive. Connor and Scheifele out there as well. I really like it. They've been getting some chances, and it's just been overall way more effective. The power play I've really liked, just really fast, crisp, clean passes, great opportunities, unpredictable. I really like it. So shout out to the Jets coaching staff there, and much more improved, way more watchable than it was, even just a season ago. But so far, through the first 3 games of the year, I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing. I'm impressed with the confidence of the team, and overall just, way more at ease than I was maybe a week ago about Jets hockey, because I did not expect them to come out like this. So what do you guys think? Are you happy with the Jets start? Or do you think they're going to, keep this up? Let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.